Greetings all, Devious Monkey. So I have been playing around with this whole setup on my Sony ZV1 to try to come up with a better solution for the shit battery life. Let's just get that out of the way. The battery life in this thing sucks. We all know that. They got these dinky ass little batteries. It said it was 1250 milliamps, but come on. So yesterday I was driving around and walking around the boardwalk in a test. And then I turned the camera on and I did not turn it off. I let it run out of battery. The interesting thing for me was that I was walking and walking and walking, and at one point I even said, this is taking forever to go down. I'm already at like 40 something minutes and it hasn't left, like the battery icon still shows full power. And then I also said, we all know that's not true. I'm sure that the power goes. I said, what strikes me as always happening, I think, because I haven't really paid attention that much until yesterday, what I think was happening was that it is drawing power and it is going down, but that icon doesn't show you that. So as soon as the first bar goes away from the camera, then it goes like that. So sure enough, what happened was that I went about, I think it was like maybe 46 minutes, we'll just say 45 minutes before it showed any indication that the battery was going down. Then it very quickly went down, because then I remember I was at like 52 minutes and I was in the 4Runner at that point, and I was coming up to an intersection and I said, well, it looks like we're at 52 minutes and it's already at half power now. And I never made it out of the 4Runner then. I drove down Atlantic Ave and took the curve, and it shut off at an hour, 2 minutes, and like 40 something seconds. So I got an hour and 3 minutes out of the battery, keeping in mind that it was 45 minutes before it showed it had lost any of the full power in the battery icon. So 45 minutes before it showed anything, and then slightly over 15 minutes later, it lost everything and shut off. So that kind of sucked, because you have to realize that, okay, like right now, I've been talking for 2.5 minutes, and that isn't going anywhere. It probably won't go anywhere for another 43 minutes. But then once it starts to go down at all, I realize I've got probably 15 minutes before I run out of battery. So you have to be mindful of that. You have to know that that's what's going to happen. Now, the other thing that I wanted to do was I wanted to test how I can eliminate having to carry 10 batteries with me, or find some place to charge the batteries because, you know, power's going out. Now, if I mount this in the 4Runner up on the dashboard like I showed you, I have power mounted up there and I can plug it in. Then the only thing I have to worry about is the camera overheating, because it's on the dashboard in the direct sunlight. Not a problem. That's what AC is for. Now, the problem is, all right, how the hell can I do this? I already carry one battery in the camera, and then I have 2 spare batteries that I carry, and I have 6 more at home of an aftermarket brand that I don't carry with me, because I'm not fucking carrying 8 batteries with me. All right? That just seems stupid. So what I've done is I have taken a, what do they call it? It's basically a battery grip that I bought for a GoPro setup, and this one is a VidPro. So it's a VidPro battery grip thingy, and it has 6,000 milliamps to it. One of the things that I found that was interesting yesterday was that this thing has been sitting in a drawer of discarded gear, I'm guessing at least 3 to 4 months. I can't remember when I sent my friend my GoPro Hero 6, and that's what I had on this grip. I pulled it out of the drawer yesterday and I thought, well, this thing's probably dead. I need to charge it. I plugged it in, it charged for 15 minutes and hit full power. So it kept its charge for several months. Yay, that's great. You don't have to worry about it losing power in any significant speed or amount, which is great. So I charged it up, and then the second part of my test was that then I used the cable that came with the camera, plugged it in, and then plugged it into the grip, and I sat it on my desk, and I turned it on, and I let it record. After an hour and a half of continuous recording, the battery icon, it shows that it's plugged in, never lost a single bar. At that point, I realized that, okay, I've now shot probably like a half an hour past when the internal battery on the camera died, I think I'm good to go. And I was gonna keep it plugged into the grip and just let it go and see when it shut off, but then I thought, what's the point? I don't need to do that. The bottom line is that there's a shit ton of power in this grip, in addition to the battery that's in the camera, that I can go and film for a day doing what I normally do and not have to worry about running out of power. There are several types of these grips out here. I know this one is a VidPro, and I bought it because earlier I bought one that I now currently use on my current GoPro Hero 8 setup that I had ordered, and it was going to take forever to get in. And I was like, well, shit. You know me, Mr. Impatient, I wanted to get something right away, and I found this VidPro. It has this silicone grippy stuff surrounding the entire thing and at the top. That's great because it's soft and you get a wicked grip on it. Like it's not going to slip out of your hand. And I have tested this before when I had the GoPro and I went down to the beach. That's where I found the problem. The problem is that this soft silicone, everything adheres to this damn silicone. Everything. There's probably still sand on here from when I did that video like months ago. Sand sticks to it like glue. Every little bit of dust, dirt, lint, fabric, shit, food, everything sticks to this damn grip. So it's a pain in the ass to keep clean. So keep that in mind. If you don't care about that, that's great. It is kind of scummy. It gets dirty really quick. So you're gonna have to keep that in mind. You know, and it's not like you can just throw it in the sink and wash it. It's a battery. So you gotta be careful with that. Otherwise, it is substantial. It's not too thin. It's not too thick. And it's comfortable to hold. And it just seems to last for a really long time. I have used this on my ZV1 now for a few days, and I used to use it on my GoPro constantly, and I have never run out of power. So it really works, and I think that's cool. That's pretty much it. You know, all the footage that I shot yesterday, you know, walking on the boardwalk, being in the car, and then, you know, the hour and a half that I was sitting on my desk in my office at home, you know, I obviously have interspersed some of that in here and out just for something different, some change to throw in there. But it isn't really necessary that I show you all that stuff. And I'm certainly not going to show you an hour and 2 minutes of me blathering into this camera to tell you how long it lasts. You know how long it lasts. The ZV1 battery, those crappy little tiny batteries, lasted an hour and 3 minutes pretty much before the camera shut off. And that was straight recording, 4K, 24p, 60 megabits. That's how long it lasted. And again, it went for about 45 minutes before it showed that it had lost any battery power, and then that last 15 minutes it went just like that. Now, with this battery grip from VidPro, it has gone now, I've been blathering for 13 minutes, and it hasn't moved. Take it for what it's worth. There are solutions out there for you to combat the fact that this has a shitty tiny little battery that doesn't last very long. I mean, an hour, people think, oh, that's a whole hour and all that kind of stuff. You know, if you got 4 batteries, I mean, you're not gonna film that much over that. But just remember, depends on your settings. It depends on what you're doing with it, how many times you're turning it on and off, how many times you're zooming and using that motor. You gotta take all that into consideration. I'd rather just put a battery grip on here and not have to worry about it at all. So if you have any questions, leave them down below, any comments, anything like that. If there's anything else you want to see, drop them in the comments as well. Let me know, and I'll see what I can come up with. As always, thanks for joining me. Like, subscribe, and all that shit. And remember, kids, forward and up.